Hey gang, boy it's still chilly out. It should be in the 60s, at least the 50s. We're going to do an apples to apples comparison between Clifford and Sylvester. The reason that we're going to do that is to show you guys why I got Sylvester over a 2500 HD. Now I don't know if you can see it, but right there, that's the truck I was going to get. I was just a little too slow to the draw, and my neighbor wound up getting it, which is cool. And he's decided that the name that I dubbed it, he's going to keep. So, say hello to Popeye. He liked the name enough, he decided he's going to keep it Popeye. It's going to get a wrap job on it. But anyway, back to the two trucks and comparing apples to apples. And the reason why I got Sylvester. So, first, let's take a look down here into the grill, and you guys can see right here is an external oil cooler. That's reason number one, and that is a part of the towing package. We come over here to Clifford, no external oil cooler anywhere. Clifford has a 700 R4 or a 4L60, not a 4L60E, 4L60. It has either or. They're similar. Without the towing package put on this truck at the factory, it does not have the towing capabilities that Sylvester has. So now we're going to keep on going. I want you guys also to take note right here. The radiator stops right there where my finger's at. We've got this much room here, okay? That's where the radiator stops when we come over here. The radiator stops here with this much room. Also, take note of the thickness of the radiator. We'll look at this side too. You can see the thickness of the radiator. Now let's go look at Sylvester's radiator. Sylvester's radiator starts right here. It takes up that gap on both sides. So there's that side. Come over to this side, and it's actually a little bit beyond this cutout right here. So you can see that. Much larger capacity cooling system. For what? For trailering. Okay? Now we look at the width of it. If we can even get the entire width of it in there. It goes back to about here. You can see how wide. It's a full 4-core, where that radiator on Sylvester is a 2-core. Much better cooling capability. Now they both have oil coolers, and they both have transmission coolers. But where this one picks up the slack is the addition of the transmission cooler. And that's this line right down here that goes to the transmission cooler in front of the condenser. So that takes care of the front end. It has the 4L60E, and it is also a beefed up transmission, just meaning it's going to be more capable of handling the towing force set forth by General Motors. And it's a complete towing package from nose to rear. That's why I wanted to keep the hitch. Now I did shoot a video on removing the hitch, but it was so silly long, and a lot of it would have had to have been fast forwarded. And so anyway, short story long, long story short, I got the hitch out, and I've got my step mounted now. So, whoa, sorry about that. Didn't mean to bump your guys' head on the ground. If we look at this hitch, all right, it came with the factory wiring harness. I'm not sure if we can read that or not. Hopefully we can. Dead weight, we have a 500-pound tongue weight max with a 4,000-pound max trailer load. Let me come over here with with a weight distributing trailer. We have a 1,000 pound tongue weight with a 10,000 pound max towing capacity. That's 10,000 pounds from 4,000. That's 6,000 additional pounds that hitch is designed to be able to haul with a load distribution hitch. That's the kind of hitches that you see that have the really big knuckles down here, and it's got two torsion arms that go on either side and they come back to the trailer. We'll actually go down and look at one. I'll show you what I'm talking about here shortly, and I'll show you the trailer that this truck is going to be pulling. But it's a much more robust hitch. It's also tied into the frame differently so that when you are using a weight distributing hitch system, it's throwing that weight to the front of the truck. That's how you're able to double your tongue weight. It is distributing the load throughout the entire frame instead of just hanging off the back. And we'll come over here, and this is a hitch that I installed myself because Clifford never had a hitch on it or a ball in its life. It's a Reese tow power. You can see it's modular. It's got a separate plate here, a separate plate here. It's a lot smaller diameter, and a separate piece here. And just the way that it's designed, its capacity is only a 300 pound tongue weight and a 5,000 pound load towing capacity. So I'll tow my small trailers with this, but the truck is not equipped or designed in any way, shape, form, or fashion right now for a big heavy trailer. This truck is. Then we're going to get into the nitty-gritty on the paperwork and show you guys in the glove boxes of GM vehicles. You have your codes, and what the codes do, get this flipped up here to where you can see it. See this sticker here, and then also up here you should have your load rating, 1,281 pound bed load rating. It's the same on Clifford as far as how much weight you can put in the bed. This is before having the trailer package in. There's one additional leaf spring and also heavier duty shocks, so you can actually carry more in the bed than what is rated here. But all of these numbers here, they all, numbers and letter combinations, they all mean something. Like right at the top, 131.5, that is the wheelbase of this truck. That is from center hub to center hub. That is the wheelbase. Let me grab these files and we'll go over to Clifford. Make sure my door's unlocked. Hello, Clifford engine. We'll also do a startup and show you guys a sound difference between the two Flowmaster mufflers that I've got. This is a Flowmaster 40, I think, and then we'll show you guys what the sound of it makes, and then what the sound of Sylvester's Flowmaster Flow FX is. Okay, now in here, and I've got a whole bunch of crap in the way, but there it is again. All right, you can see there the wheelbase is showing 141.5. So the wheelbase is 10 inches longer on Clifford than it is on Sylvester, but the physical length of the body, the physical length, is identical. They are exactly the same length. We'll come over here and strike a pose back here, and you can see that the bumpers are lined up. Then we'll come up to the front and show you that the bumpers are lined up. So I actually measured them, and they both measure out, I forget now, 18 feet 6 inches roughly in that ballpark. So what did they do? Well, you know, the front is pretty much the same. They've not moved anything forward or backward in the front. They moved the axle back in Clifford. So now let's take a look at the paperwork. What do you say? We'll drop Sylvester's tailgate and see if I can find a place to clip the camera for you guys, okay? Oh, looky here, do you see that? That, I believe, No, it's not. I thought maybe that was the piece that got chewed out right there when the bed got a ding. Let me find a place to clip the camera here so we can take a look at the paperwork. That shouldn't be too bad. Alright, I keep files on all of my vehicles, by the way, in case you couldn't tell. We're going to look at the 1500. These are the PRO codes, I believe is what they're called. Not positive, but we're going to pull the codes out. And if you have a GM vehicle and you want to know what the codes are, all you have to do is get online and do a search and look for the codes. And you can find them, save them as a PDF, and have them to reference forever. I've done it on all of my vehicles. Alright, we've got the 1992 GMC Sierra, and we don't want to point out specifically. We've got kind of a glare. The axle ratio. Axle rear standard ratio. It's a one-wheel peel rear end, and the ratio is 3.08. Alright, come down here. We have the THM 700R4 and the 4L60 as for a transmission. And then lastly, gross vehicle weight rating 6,200 pounds, and it's the same on both vehicles. And we'll come up here to Sylvester. Sylvester's rear axle ratio 3.42, so it's got a taller gear. Positrack rear end, positive traction rear differential, so it is a two-wheel peel. Okay, engine oil cooler, trans oil cooler, 5.7 liter, a built 4L60E. Then we come over here to the trailer hitch platform. The trailer hitch platform is code VR4, and that includes isolated oil cooler in front of the radiator, large core radiator, load distributing hitch, 342 axle, positive traction rear differential, and factory 4-pin trailer plug wiring harness. I might be missing one or two things that it also includes, but it gives you a much higher tow rating in a half-ton truck. So oftentimes they would be referred to as a heavy half. Now that we got through that, let's take a listen to each of the little rumblies, shall we? Let's start Sylvester. We'll go over and listen to the exhaust note on it at idle. Turn the microphone around for you guys. But after this leaves Sylvester around. You can already hear Clifford over Sylvester. So as you can see, the Model 40 Flowmaster is quite a bit louder. There's no fiberglass in the muffler on Clifford. On Sylvester, it is a glass-packed stainless steel muffler. We'll see if we can get in there and get a little shot of it and see if we can see it. Yeah, I think we can see it. We get the camera down up under there. And we'll see if we can get down under there and take a look at Clifford's. So as you can see, that one is not stainless steel, and there is no fiberglass in that one at all, where Sylvester's has fiberglass. So over time that fiberglass will break down a bit, and we will end up with a throatier sound, but I like the nice tame sound of it. So that's going to round it out. There are the differences. Now I'm going to talk about something different. Let me shut these guys off here real quick. And it's something that I need to do on both of these trucks. Boy, Clifford sounds good. They're both 350 engines. They're both TBI without the mass airflow sensors. That's better. Okay. So just a couple other differences also. We have a Kelsey Hayes analog brake controller here. We do not have hydro boost brakes. They are just vacuum assist on both trucks. And then over here we have this really tiny dinky little analog brake controller. So in comparison, which one's better? I don't know. Haven't had to lock the brakes up. But if I do discover what the difference is, I'll let you know. But you can see that this is quite a bit more involved. It has a motor on it that actually activates the pulse. Just a lot more. And the fuse center relay is here, whereas all of the fuses for Clifford are under the dash. And then we have a wiring junction here. You guys may remember when I had issues with a grounding issue, and that's where I found my grounding issue at. But something else that happens with these trucks is your cowl here. Let me shut the hood. Close the hood down. Clunk. Okay. On the cowl, on either side, down underneath the, well, really the whole thing, but down underneath here, there's a one-way little rubber flapper. And oftentimes, stuff gets down in here, and it gets down between the hood and the cowl, and it slides down here, and it all gets down in that well down there, and it clogs up. When it clogs up, it can't effectively drain out onto the ground. So where does it drain instead? It drains into the cab. So you can see how dirty everything is there. It's nasty, isn't it? Well, you can see right there that the carpet's pretty clean. All that right there, that it's wet. In fact, you can see right there the moisture. It is all wet in there. So I need to go in and clean those out on both Clifford and Sylvester to stop that water from coming in. And one last thing, cab corners. Everybody knows these things are notorious for rusting out. What ultimately causes that is this little piece of trim right here that's just snapped in there. Well, there's a putty that's just like what you can see right here. That same putty is down inside that cap, underneath that cap, and it gets dried and it cracks, and then it allows moisture to get inside and run down here and collect and pool at the cab corners. So pulling these pieces off and resealing up there, my hip just went out and it hurts like a son of a gun. Pulling those pieces out and resealing that, reinstalling those pieces will help prolong the life of your cab corners. So as you can see here, it's quite a long piece on the extended cab. Comes all the way down and down to here. Well, underneath there, like I said, is that packing, that silicone-ish type of stuff. And it gets all cracked and beat up. In fact, you can almost look in there and see the white in there and see where it's got cracks in it. Hopefully you can see that. That's what happens. Then moisture gets down in there, it runs down, and Clifford is starting to show signs of cab corner failure because of that. So there you have it. It's your friendly neighborhood Zippo. There is your apples to apples comparison between a non-trailer package equipped GM vehicle and a trailer option equipped GM vehicle. So I hope you guys found this useful. They did not put a brake controller in Sylvester, but they are brake controller capable, and I've got one. I'll be putting one in. They both came with 100 amp alternators out of the factory. This one is still running the R12. I have converted it over to the 134. Sylvester is upgraded with an airbag, which I don't care for, and the new R134 AC system. I've yet to charge the system to see where and if and where I have a leak, but we'll get to that later on down the road. I did order new door handles for the outside on both doors and the inside on both doors. Oh, I've got a pretty good dent there too that I didn't notice till just now. That's alright. Sylvester's a work truck. What happens with these and why they start to fail, hang on just a second, guys. I'll call you back. I'll call you back. I'll talk to you guys in a second. Alright, we're back. Sorry about the interruption there. What happens with these handles, these are just pot metal. And it's got a long arm at the bottom of it, and then a tab that goes out that the actual rigid cable or rod connects to. And these actually twist on that vertical boss or cylinder or whatever you want to call it. They actually twist. So over time, you know, you pull it this far and you can get out of the truck, and then you have to go this far to get out of the truck, and then eventually you get to where you're out of room, where you can't pull any further, and then it makes the doors very, very hard to get in and out of. That's all that's going on with that. So me replacing just this will cure my getting in and out from the inside of the vehicle problem. But that one is also twisted a little bit, so I'm going to replace that one. I'm going to replace this one, and I'm going to replace this door handle. This door handle is damaged, it's cracked. You can see here. So that's going to get replaced. That requires removing all of the guts of the door, which is good and bad. It's good because I need to lubricate everything really, really well in there, and it's bad because it's a good bit of work, but that's something that we're going to do. I got my new vent visors, but I've got to go through and clean up all the schmooge before I can put them on, so I may do that after I go to the doctor's office, which is where I'm headed now, so we can finally get this neck issue taken care of. So I'm going to go ahead and close it out. This is your friendly neighborhood Zippo. There's an apples to apples comparison between a trailer package equipped Chevy Silverado / GMC Sierra to one that is not equipped with a trailering package. So we should be good to go. Now, right before I finish this video, we're going to run down, take a look, and show you guys what a load bearing hitch system sort of kind of looks like. I don't have the whole thing, I just have the trailer hitch. So hang on, we'll be right, or the trailer itself. So hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Here's the 18-foot trailer that Sylvester will be pulling, and these are the brackets that are used when you're adding the load leveling hitch to it. It'll have the long arms that'll come across and attach to the hitch that's attached to the truck. So hopefully that's explanation enough, and you guys can pretty well understand what we're talking about there. Let's see, I'm not sure exactly what the vehicle weight is here, but I'll find out. I think it is here. We might have it right here. Let's take a look. Let's see. Okay, gross vehicle 3175 kilograms. It's a 7,000 pound trailer. So I still have 4,000 pounds of load capability inside. All right, it's showing, let's see, what did it say? Oh, that's how much the trailer can load. I take that back. The actual weight should not exceed 4,064 pounds. The dry weight of this trailer is 2,936 pounds. So there you have it. 2,936 pounds, roughly 3,000 pounds. Still gives me 8,000 pounds on the truck. But with a max of 2-ton cargo, that'll still only put us at 8,900 pounds. Still well below the capabilities of Sylvester, where Clifford could never have done it. Alright, that's it. Friendly Neighborhood Zippo. I will catch you on the next one. If you liked this, right down there you can subscribe. And here's a couple of random videos you guys can check out if you want to. We will see you on the next one. Later. I'm out of here.